Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about the statement, accept me as I am. You know what I mean? Accept me as I am. That's a really big generic statement, and it is used heavily out here. You know what I mean? And understanding the statement of accept me as I am, you have to fully be able to interpret and understand that, for one, you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and accepting you as you are in simple terms would be accepting a baby as they are. You know, you have a little infant, whether it's yours or somebody else's, you accept that energy, that entity as an infant. Now when that infant grows up and gets bigger, it has to change and transition because it is growing. That doesn't mean that you do not accept the baby / spirit as it is. That means you have to grow with them. You have to learn with them. You have to earn with them. You know what I mean? And a lot of these witches out here in today's society like to use these things. Oh, you're supposed to accept me as I am and not try to. No, motherfucker. Like, no. Accepting you as you are, meaning where you meet me at right now, you're accepting this, the whole package as it is, spiritual and physical, and where it's going. That's the piece they leave off. Have you ever got a letter from somebody and maybe it got wet, or you took it out your pocket and a piece of it got ripped off? So it was missing some words and you had to kind of fill in the blank, but you kind of knew because you could see one or two of the words still there. That is literally what this process is. Accept me, take me as I am. That's another blanket statement for a lot of beings. Understand that they have some deeper things going on with them, that they know that they can be pretty irrational, and they want people and other beings to accept that. Now, we do accept it to a certain degree when we open the door with these beings, but you're supposed to be growing. I would never accept a 10-year-old as a baby, because it's not a baby. So at that stage and point in time, you've transitioned. A lot of beings forget, because once you get to a certain adult age, you don't really see a lot of physical transformations unless you're just spiritually connected. And you could tell, even in this witchy ass society, what a 20-year-old it is, what a 30-year-old is, what a 40-year-old, I don't give a damn how light of a being you are. You know what I'm saying? You would still be able to spiritually tell, because there's certain things that happen with our skin, our genetics, everything that transforms as we're aging and we're growing, you know. So accepting beings for who they are, I would want people to accept me for who I am and where I'm going. Not just say, hey, I look at you, I like you, you have nice energy, I accept you. But what if I'm not going anywhere? What if I just have good energy and I'm not going anywhere? You know what I mean? It's just stable, stagnant, good energy. You know what I mean? And you have to really go out of your way to even engage with my energy, because I'm not spreading it anywhere. That's, to me, that's not operating as healthy as I possibly could be helping, carrying it. And then to a certain degree, it's I want you to believe in me, right? On a percentage scale, 40%. You know, I don't give a damn if people believe in me or not, but I'm saying everything is on a percentage scale. On a percentage scale, most of us want people to believe in us. That's not witchy. You know what I'm saying? Witchy people don't give a fuck. It's just strictly transactional. But the ones who aren't witchy, you know what I'm saying? It feels nice when people believe in you. You know what I'm saying? You feel needed. You feel wanted. You know, you feel as though you're you have some kind of meaning, even if it's just small. But we all want to know that we mean something. You know what I mean? So like, understanding these things, it's hard for me to have people try to just accept me for where I am at right now and not believe in me and believe in my vision and where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing when I engage with people outside of me. I see the light in people, and then I believe in that light the way I believe in myself. And then whether they start to reflect and show me that or not is solely up to them. But that's usually my first perception when I'm engaging with beings, you know. After I find the light, it's usually sensories and all kind of other things going off in the spiritual world, looking for demon alerts. You know, I just been a lot around a witchy shit. So for me, it's like my alert system kind of looks out for it. You know, I'm pretty good at being able to tune in and navigate and not hone in on those aspects or whatever we want to call them, you know. But if somebody stabbed you multiple times, or if every time you left out the house somebody punched you in your face, before you leave out the house you're gonna be peeking out, looking both corners, you know what I'm saying? It don't have anything to do with as much as the other beings on a percentage scale. Is more so about you within not trusting the process, not feeling comfortable in your space. So now it's like you gotta ramp your alerts up, because you also gotta protect yourself, you know what I mean? So you don't want to just turn your sensories off and not be protected. But accepting people as they are, you know what I'm saying, like that's a deep statement. I accept you where you are and where you are going. I'm not just gonna accept you where you are. You should never just accept people for where they are unless you don't plan on building or growing with this being. It's kind of like if you go to the store, like, you don't give a fuck if they doing anything. You just in there to create your transaction. You went for an item, you got to go through them. You know what I'm saying? You don't give a damn what they doing or extra, if they building or not. You know what I'm saying? That's different. But for the ones that's close to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all know that this Western society is cuckoo, loco, crazy, right? And we all know that food is overly used out here. So it's like we got a lot of obesity, we got a lot of overweight, we got a lot of motherfuckers who are slim but eat so much trashy shit that their body is still breaking down. You know what I mean? So it's not just like people who have weight on them are unhealthy because of the foods that they intaking, you know, or the poisons or the toxins, however we want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we intelligent enough over here to understand they poison us everywhere, you know, air, food, water, land, blah, 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 you know. But understanding these things, like, they help with the process in, like, such a huge way, because the majority is riding with the system to control your perception. When I say the majority, it's, you have to look at the people around you as being part of the majority. The majority has to start somewhere. So in your world, you have to create something. All right, in this part of the world where I'm at, the majority likes to wear their hats backwards, and they like to not put no shoelaces in. You know what I'm saying? So if you got buddies or associates that's wearing their hat backwards, or they got their shoelaces out, you have to understand that they are a part of the masses. You know what I mean? That's just what it comes down to. Like, we all know what's up with Jordan, you know, but everybody still go out the way and give this man more accolades. They still buying Nike shoes and products for J's and making it seem like that gives you status. You know, when I see Jordans on a nigga feet or a female feet, I just think zombie robot. It doesn't make me think, oh, they got style. Jordans is not style. You create your own motherfucking shoe. That's style. That's style. You create your own motherfucking shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather catch somebody in flip-flops than seeing them in J's. You know, these are, I'm just saying this as an example, as far as like things you can create in your own realm. Maybe Jordans isn't the thing for you. Maybe it's like all the zombie robots where you live at all eat Starbucks, and now you got friends who go to Starbucks, but you're not a Starbucks drinker. You rather make your own coffee, or you got, you know, the mom and pop cafe deli that you like to go down to. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand, all right, well, they don't like to go over to this one. They always want to go to Starbucks. when you speaking of the masses, you have to put those people in with the masses. It's like when I talk to females that's in my personal space, it's like you doing regular women shit. You can throw in 1,000 videos in here. Other men talk about these same complaints. You can turn on 1,000 videos and see a bunch of women talking about these same complaints. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same thing. So clearly you are putting yourself into the generic category. You are putting yourself into the regular nigga, basic bitch category. You know what I'm saying? So just understanding these things. I'm gonna accept you as you are, but if you're a basic zombie robot, then I have to understand I cannot give you but so much energy because you're not going to put it to good use. I will not. It's like you having one bottle of water and you know that you're very good at taking increments because y'all got a long way to go, and then you give it to one motherfucker and they like, and just pouring it all over themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all still could have used that water. You know, all of these things you have to be able to correlate and to like have it make sense. Because what I always say is like, where I receive my information from, it's always clarity. Even if it's like, it's too far out for me to fully comprehend. By the time it's time for me to comprehend it, it's very fucking clear. I never get any information. I don't ever, it's always clear. Always clear, even if I don't agree with it. You know what I mean? Because I was programmed as well as y'all, so I am still removing apps as well and programs from myself. But just understanding these things, you're gonna find yourself isolated with certain beings and groups of people, and they're gonna be pushing the masses' perspective on you to accept them or their thoughts and shit as they are. And we all know that anything that operates with the system or in correspondence with it is operating in evil. Operating in evil. You know what I'm saying? I was teaching my daughter that the other day. You know what I'm saying? We wrote out live, L-I-V-E. Now let's write live backwards, E-V-I-L. All right, big girl. So all right, we living over here. If they not living, they are being evil. You know what I'm saying? We took dog, D-O-G, and we flipped it, G-O-D. You know what I'm saying? Dogs are loyal, they are trustworthy, you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of things that you could get and take in why they use the quote-unquote, a dog is a man's best friend, you know what I'm saying? Nah, a dog is another spiritual being that's really close in the spiritual realm and has its principles, morals, and values so instilled within them that even if they got a bad owner, they're still gonna be good to that bad owner, you know what I mean? And that's no different with a lot of us beings who, you know, they say people go into situations and get physically abused, you know what I'm saying? But then they'll still protect that abuser. I can feel it to a certain degree. I've been in this Western shit with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I literally just got a call last night that my grandmother passed away, and I just went to see her on Thursday. Today is Wednesday. Today Wednesday, I want to say today is Wednesday. And my grandmother, you know, she was a pretty light being. She made it to 90, you know what I'm saying? She made it all the way to 90. When I went to see her Thursday, that was like the hardest I ever seen her. Like, she always been such a light being that when I saw her, she was like out of it. Like, it was kept saying they had a hard time feeding her. She wasn't eating. I kept wiping her mouth. Literally, I sat up there and I just held my grandmother's hand, you know. She was in a wheelchair. We was kind of in the lobby area around people. But it's like, the way life is set up, shit just be hitting and happening, you know. And I kind of felt it, like she knew she was on her way out. And then when I was sitting there with her, it was like my spirit knew that she was gonna leave soon too. And, you know, all I could do was just kind of hold her hand, put my arm around her shoulder and just love her, you know, and tell her I love her, tell her, you know, how proud I am of her, tell her she did a great job, you know. Even if the family is a little chaotic. Oh, damn, somebody trying to get at me again. Even if the family is a little chaotic and we got all these things going on, but my grandmother was the glue, you know, and she came from that generation of loyalty and honesty and all of these things, you know. So if they didn't get fully brainwashed, since she didn't, they must have got a hold of her children, which got a hold of us and blah, blah, blah on the way down. But I realized, like, my grandmother was extremely light. Like, she was extremely light all the way on her way out. And it's like, this is where I get confused at sometimes, because I just said all the information is clear. I get confused because I'm trying to declutter things and just try to get a better understanding. This is like, I was telling somebody else, my grandmother, not saying just only hers, other people got people in life, that is the definition of doing the best they can. This generation, my mom generation, they are not doing the best they can. My siblings and shit, people in my generation, they are not doing the best they can. My grandmother took care of her children. She took care of me, my siblings, that generation, and my daughters, my sisters, you know, her little people, that generation as well. And she damn near got a chance to get my daughter and the next generation down from there, you know what I mean? And then everybody has, you know, all the younger generation just has so much admiration and love for Nana. But I know, I say all that to say, like, the same energy don't go for my mom's. So I know, like, this is a hard time, but it's also a time where, like, I am loving you, Mom, and I do accept you as you are. But in order to not have you in that same state that Nana was in, I would have to help you and work with you through a space that the next generation would want to be there for you. You know, my grandmother, she went out in a nursing home, you know what I'm saying? And we all know what nursing homes do. She left the rehab place where she was doing fine at because she had fell and broke her hip like last year. End of last year, it was literally crazy. This past few 6-7 months has been mind-blowing. And like, I've still been pretty consistent as far as what I could be out here, you know what I'm saying? But with her moving on to her next journey, you know, I got to be there for her a lot, so I don't have like regrets. I was able to ask her questions. I was able to ask her questions and different things that I would have never asked her if I wasn't in the space I'm in now, you know? Like, a lot of people talk about ancestral history and slavery and all that shit. I was able to talk to my grandmother about that shit, you know? She was never in slavery. Her mother was never in slavery, you know? My grandmother was born in Philly, moved to Florida, and then moved up to New York. So that's, you know, that's a lot of traveling. So I would have been basing my shit off of the other information around if I didn't ask these questions, you know what I'm saying? I even got my daughter up there enough times before she was in there, even before she was in any of those places, you know, I still took them around enough so they can meet their great-grandmother, you know what I'm saying, and get a chance to create memories while they can, because shit, if I could have helped my grandmother stay along a little longer, I would have, so my daughter would have got more engagement. But I say all that to say, like, accepting people as they are comes with where they're growing and going to. Don't look at that statement as a rip letter where it says, accept me as I am, and then it rips the rest of the sentence off. Understand these spells and how they work, and people pick and choose the words that they pick and choose. I don't give a damn if they oppositional or not, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I ain't want to run it up too long, you know. Life isn't short and life is not long. Life is what the fuck we make it. Life is not short, life is not long. Life is what we make it. I had a buddy that was my age, I'm 37. He caught 2 bullet holes in the head, in the neck, and the rest of the clip all in his chest. This was before the situations with my grandmother moving on peacefully. You know, she was able to just go to sleep and not get back up. You know, opposed from somebody who was my age and just took a whole clip to the chest and to the head and neck. You know what I mean? So life is what we make it. Life is not short, life is not long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.